and welcome to another video tutorial Monday. This week is my 25th video tutorial in a row, and I'm super excited to share a pretty simple but fun card that uses a little bit of die cutting and some new papers that I got. So I'm going to start out with, I have my card base, but we're not going to use that quite yet. I'm going to start out with this piece cut to 4 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. So it's just a little bit shy of a regular size card. And this is from the Lush collection from My Mind's Eye. This is their aqua turquoise color. And this is the dot paper, and I cut out a piece that was that size, and then I also cut out a piece that was slightly smaller, and you'll see why in a second. So what I'm going to do, I want to cut out a window from this, but I don't want it to go all the way through to the inside of my card. I just want it to go through this piece of paper. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Matte Stack 4 die from Paper Tray Ink. This is how I label all my dies. It's kind of rinky-dink, but it totally works, and it helps me remember which one's which. And what I'm just going to do is tape this Matte Stack die down with some washi tape. If I can get it off the roll. And I'm going to center it up here. It works better if it's centered on your grid first. And that looks like it's about centered. So I'm just going to tape it down right here and right here. Just nice and lightly. And then I'm going to run it through my Big Shot. And I just use all the tabs down with the plates. Pretty simple for wafer thin dies like this. And that should be cut through now. And there we go, there's our cut piece. So I'll put this away. And now we have this cut piece. We're just going to carefully remove the washi tape. And this paper actually has a pretty shiny finish on it. You can't see it, but you can feel it. That it's really, really, really smooth. So you shouldn't have any trouble taking tape off of this type of paper, especially. And the washi tape is low tack, so it should be fine. So I have my die cut punched out here, and although this is a really cool piece, we're not going to be using it. First, what I'm going to do, actually, before I ink that up, what I want to do is have this go on the card like this, but have this behind it so that there's that nice little background. It's different from the green, but it's a nice neutral background, and that way I'll be able to add my sentiment right here. So what I want to do is adhere it to the card so that it's straight, and it fills the entire window there. So I'm just going to use my ATG. And kind of use this to measure where I need to put it. Right about there should be fine. And it doesn't need to be perfectly lined up, it just needs to be straight. There we go. And then this will go right on top like this. And I'm going to actually adhere it with some tape, or with some dimensional tape. But first I'm going to ink around the edge to give it a nice finished edge. I'm going to ink around the edges of the card, or the edges of this pattern paper, and around the inside of the window. Okay, and now the ink isn't quite dry around the edges, so I'm just going to be extra careful. I'm going to use some adhesive tape to go around the edges of this so that it'll be popped away from the surface of the card. Okay, now I'm just going to adhere it. I have my adhesive on the back, and I made sure to go around the edge of the frame very well. That way it doesn't collapse on my card or anything like that. Now that I have this adhered, I can add my letter stickers. I think what I'm going to use for this, this is from the Be Mine collection from Echo Park Paper Company. I'm going to use these letters because I think they look kind of cool. And both this and the Lush paper are printed on cream cardstock. So if you didn't know that by looking at the pictures, I really like cream cardstock, but I don't want you to be caught off guard. So I think what I want the sentiment to say is hello. And what I'm going to do, this is a little trick I use to line up my letter stickers. I'm just going to use a clear ruler and just line them up on my ruler so that I can see that they're straight. And then I'll easily be able to apply them to my card all in one kind of swoop. So I'm going to adhere them to my ruler first. So I have my letter stickers lined up on my ruler, and now, since I have them all in one spot, I can easily look to see where I want to put them before I commit to one specific place. So I could put them towards the top. Maybe I'll put them in the middle. Yes, I'll put them right in the middle here. So I'm just going to line them up. You can use these notches with the H and the O to line up them exactly with the die. And then just press them all down. And you want to press them down really well, because now you just peel up the ruler and hopefully none of them come loose. There we go. And I mean, if one sticks to the ruler, you can always just use the others as a guide to put it back. So that is my sentiment. I think this needs a little something here, so I'm going to keep it really simple. I'm just going to take the same color that I used for my background, which is this spring moss, and what I'm actually going to do is just cut 4 little strips and then put 2 above and 2 below, and that'll help outline the sentiment. So I'm going to cut these out. Now what I'm just going to do is lay out these strips. I just cut them at 1/8 inch, which actually corresponds exactly with the grid. So I'm just going to adhere them according to the grid lines. And what I'm going to do is adhere this one right about here, and I want to cut these ends off so that they fit right inside. So I have this cut out now, and I can just adhere it right about here, and I'm just going to do that for all the other strips, and I'll be back in a second. Okay, so I've put the green strips across my card, and as you can see we have a little visitor. She wanted to be on the video today, apparently. You can see she's a lot bigger, see? She doesn't even fit on screen anymore. And she's playing with my desk. Okay, so next what I'm going to do, I'm just going to take some of this ribbon. This is from an Etsy store that I will link to in my blog post. I'm just going to tie it around the card in a bow right here. And you'll be able to see this, and my cat chasing it. Okay, so I've added my bow, and you can see my cat had fun with the ribbon. And this needs to be trimmed a little bit more. By the way, I think it's amazing that I've cut through all sorts of stuff with these scissors, and they still cut ribbon. Don't worry, my cat's just causing havoc in my room. So I just tied this ribbon. Now all I think we need is a couple gemstones right here. I'm going to pull out these. They're by Kaisercraft. You can get these from Paper Tray Ink. And I'm going to use my X-Acto knife to place the stones, which is what I usually do. I'm also just going to place some gemstones up in this corner and this corner, mostly because I love gemstones. And I think it still needs a little bit of an added touch. Alright, And there you have it. There's the finished card for this week. It's very simple, very elegant, and just using this cool new pattern paper from the Lush line from My Mind's Eye. So thank you very much for stopping by. Make sure that you check out the video link here on the screen. It is for my giveaway for this 25th video. So it'll take you over to that YouTube video and that'll have all the details about the giveaway. Make sure you go over there and leave a comment so you can enter. And here's the finished card. And here's the close-up. Thank you very much for stopping by for another video tutorial Monday, and I will catch you again next week.